Hi, I'm Brody, I'm the drummer.
Hi, I'm Seb, I'm the rhythm guitarist.
Hey, I'm Jaden, I'm the bassist.
I'm Ash, I'm the lead guitarist and the vocals.
I'm Akira and I'm the third guitarist.
Very good. So, you guys met at school. Which school was that?
All of us except for Brody. So we all went to Rabina.
And
I went to St. Michael's.
You go to St. Michael's.
Go to St. Michael's.
Still go to St. Michael's?
Yeah.
So you're all still at school?
No.
well,
He is and he is.
yeah.
Ah.
So us three dropped out.
We dropped out the start of last year because we wanted to do music at TAFE properly, so we could do music properly.
Okay.
I completed my
Now
course.
you're working now, so
yeah,
you can
just working.
yeah.
Just continuing the
And
career.
then they're just kind of waiting to get out.
So you guys still doing music at TAFE?
No, I finished 6 months ago.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just dropped out because I was bored and it was easy.
Fair enough. All right. So the first song you played tonight, what was that called?
Transporting.
Well, Trainspotting and Snowdrop.
Yeah, so they lead
The song is called Snowdrop. We have an introduction to it called Trainspotting.
Yeah.
Ah.
It wasn't called that until I played it one time at Brody's house, and then I stopped, and a train went past right as I stopped, and I was like, "That is really cool. We should do that." We should just
Very
call
cool.
it that.
All right. And so the second song, what was that called?
Proud Street.
And why is it called Proud Street?
Because I wrote that about an ex-girlfriend, and when we started talking and when we broke up, I was at someone's house and it was on Proud Street, which is actually around the corner from where he lives.
Oh, wow. Yeah, very cool. Okay, so the third song, what was that all about?
When I Get Home.
When I Get Home.
Yeah. That is our introduction song to
The album.
The album,
Yeah.
really. So.
Okay, so there's an album
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Coming up.
coming up. There's an album. And what will the album be called?
Drag Me Down.
And
Which is a nod to our original name for our band.
Very good. So, okay, so we're up to song 4, is that correct?
Yeah.
What was song 4?
No, it was
it's
GNS.
GNS.
The GNS. Alright.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's like the newest one, isn't it?
one of the newer
Yeah.
ones.
So, GNS and the one we played after that, Shade, those are both. I say new because we've just kind of learned them in the last couple of weeks, but there's a lot. Most of the stuff we wrote before lockdown, and then I worked on with Brody or just with Seb, and then it became very difficult to meet up, obviously. So we just kind of tried to practice as much as we could, like even just 2 people going together and then sending that to other people and stuff like that. And then now we're back to practicing semi-regularly, so it's good because we feel a lot better about what we're playing now as well.
Going around and playing a lot more shows as well now.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Getting the group.
We got we have gigs like every 2-4 weeks,
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird considering everything that's happening and nobody else can seem to find gigs, and we could never find gigs before, and now we're finding all like gigs post lockdown. So
Well, yeah, things are being a lot more relaxed by the Queensland government, so there are opportunities out there now, which is great. And it's great that you guys are getting gigs. That's a really cool thing.
well, yeah, because no one let us for ages because we're underage.
So, song number 5.
Or Shade.
Yeah, that was Shade.
So that's another new one. That's I think I wrote that right after I got into a band called Belmont, who we all worship, basically.
Yeah.
Where are they from?
They're from Chicago.
Oh, okay, cool.
And yeah, we have a joke in the band that I look like them because I have the same hat and glasses and facial hair and everything. But they have a lot of weird time signature breakdowns and stuff like that. So that's
Definitely,
probably where you
definitely
heard
one
that
of the
from.
more fun songs to play.
It's probably the most fun song we got.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, so that leads us into song number 6.
Sick. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Sick, which we recorded with you.
Yes.
I mean, it's not really.
So
not-
basically, I don't know. One day, Ash and I were at school while we were still there, and he came into the music room and told me, "Hey, I wrote a new song. You want to listen to it?" I was like, "Yeah,
So
sure."
I showed him the chords because I was like, I don't really have anything else.
Yeah, and then
And so we came up with the lead, and we were like, it just sounds really weird and off. Do we actually want to keep it? And we had like 6 or 7 people that used to just kind of stay in the room with us in our class and watch us rehearse, and they were like, yes, it's really cool. And they actually didn't know, the person who came up with the name for it didn't know that we said the word sick so much in the song. It was just because I was sick when I was doing it.
Ah.
And then I was like, you know, that we say that in the song, and she was like, oh,
Shit.
I didn't know that.
All right, that's cool.
And,
So, oh yeah.
and eventually, the lead part for me turned out into a more finger picking stuff. So
Yeah, we rewrote it a lot.
we rewrote
added new
that
notes
song.
to it.
Yeah. So
And it's also the first song I learned when I joined the band.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Akira joined pretty much right after the studio, right?
We haven't even explained that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a ganglion cyst in my wrist, which is why I've got the scar here.
Okay.
So basically, I had just needed to move away from the band because I had surgery.
Yep.
And so within the recovery time, we decided to get Akira to step in, and he played bass for a while, and then
This
he
is
just
why
became an alternationist.
If you check our social,
So how
it's
long
always
did it take to
pretty
recover from the surgery?
It was about maybe 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
But felt so much longer. It was a pain in the ass.
I mean, yes. And after you came back, we just kind of like looked at Akira and you're like, well, Ash had the idea of having a third guitarist for ages, so it was just like, why don't we get Akira?
Why don't we just do it? Like, let's just keep it, see, because we were like, let's just try it out and see what happens, because for the longest time we were like, we don't need a third guitarist if they're just going to play the same thing.
Yeah.
But enter the 7-string guitar, and now we have extended range, and we get to be genty as well.
Cool. Okay, which brings us to song number 7.
Our last one, that was Untitled.
Michael was incorrectly punctuated.
We name it Untitled.
So yeah, we call it Untitled, but everyone else shortens it to Michael, which is really confusing for us. So basically, for the longest time, it was called Untitled, but we realized that there's a lot of songs called Untitled, especially by bands we like. So we were watching Vsauce, and we were just watching him do a bunch of really stupid stuff, and I was watching his intro where he says, "Hey, Vsauce, Michael here." Please don't copyright me. And I thought, I know that he's introducing his last name then first name, but no one's gonna get that. It just sounds like he doesn't know how to speak properly. It just sounds like he's incorrectly punctuated, and hence the name.
But for a long time, it was called Untitled purely because
We didn't know what to
Ash
call
came
it.
over to my house, we jammed out, we made the song in a day, and we didn't come up for a name for it
And
just for so long.
And we took until, I think we wrote it in like March, like 2019 or something, and we didn't end up writing, I didn't end up writing the finished lyrics until about a month before the studio, because I just couldn't find the right lyrics, because the song's really weird, because it doesn't really go any way, like some of the chords sound happy and sad at the same time, so it's like it doesn't really know what it wants to be. Which makes sense for it to be Untitled and for the name to make no sense whatsoever.
It's just a very odd song, but
and the
catchy.
solo lacks feel completely, because it's supposed to replicate the lack of feeling in the song lyrics and stuff like that.
Okay, very cool. So, lyrically, I mean, obviously Ash, you write a lot of stuff. Do any other guys write lyrics as well?
We chuck in bits, but it's mostly Ash.
Mostly Ash,
Well,
but musically, you all
I mean,
contribute?
we have a kind of we've developed the process a lot now. It used to kind of just be I would write it, teach it, and then we'd do it. And now it's kind of I'll write it, or Seb will write something and teach it, and then we'll be like, okay, that's cool, but I'm going to do it this way instead, you know? So that helps us give more ideas and stuff like that as well.
So we come at each other with all different ideas, and everyone
adds their own parts, and everyone writes their own parts, or is it a...
So we just come out with the demo of a song, and then it can be completely changed around.
Well,
once the entire
usually
is introduced.
whoever writes the demo of the song will kind of write parts, like scratch parts.
Scratch parts.
So like for Untitled, the chords were definitely not what they are now.
No.
Like he's doing what the original chords were, which is just, you know, some nice, you know, power chord shapes and stuff, and I'm doing like extensions over the top and everything, and
Lots of
it's
weird,
very
wacky
confusing.
stuff.
And so how did you find, with all of the parts that these guys are playing on guitars, when you added your guitar part, how did you find that? Because you were fitting, I guess you'd be fitting somewhere in between what they're doing in the bass.
Or some songs, with Untitled and Sick, we didn't write extra parts just because we'd already tracked it with just 6 strings, so we were like, okay. But everything else, you just kind of work out, or we just kind of, we do what we do with a bass line really, we work out what the root note is, and then we just say, alright, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't go over everyone else, do what you think works.
I was going to say that we started with a lot of parts of just being similar to the main guitar part, and then we would be like, okay, here's what the bass is playing, here's what the guitar is playing, and then we would just stuff around with it. So it just kind of depends on what song we're going for.
So I guess that happens in a rehearsal sort of a situation, and you just experiment with changing the parts up.
Yeah, and a lot of live shows as well. I reckon we do a lot of improv there.
Oh, okay.
Just because why not? We have the ability to. So.
Yeah, we if you think the only set we have as of recording this on YouTube, we have interludes on intros.
So a lot of the stuff you do is very improvised.
Well, yeah, we kind of have like a basic structure for it, and then we kind of do whatever in between. So train spotting is like a big one that it gets confusing if one person's like even a bar, like even a beat off.
Yeah.
And it's usually, with that, I think at this point the other guys kind of know, there's a lot with playing it with each other a lot as well, because the other guys kind of know how I play, and they think, like, if I don't hit a note that they think, oh, he probably should have hit that by now, they kind of trust me to not just miss the note, So it's the same as I trust them to get the timings right now, and it's just when you play with people for a really long time.
Just get to learn each other's idiosyncrasies.
We're all
Looks up a bit more.
a lot connected and stuff.
All right. So there's an album coming up soon.
Coming up soon.
When's that due to be done?
When we get the money saved.
Once we have the money, we'll come to you.
So hopefully, maybe like January, February next year.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get it recorded about now. But we are doing this. And we didn't have much money saved at the moment, so we'll probably try and use the Christmas break, when everyone's kind of got more time.
So have all of the songs pretty much been written, or you've still got some writing to do?
I think there's only like one song with only one like full band song that we haven't taught the rest, and then the rest is just kind of interludes that.
Technically have 2 songs we haven't fully Drag Me Down and Steve Vai.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I forgot.
Yeah, we're in the middle of going through one of our songs at the moment, which is Drag Me Down,
the title track.
Yeah. So we're
it's just very complicated.
It's a very complicated song, so we're going through that now.
When you say complicated, in like with time signatures or in what way?
So
different tunes.
There's 3 different tunings. So he's in drop C sharp, I'm in open F with capo on 9, and he's in open D. There's like 2 rhythm parts going at the same time, and like a lead with a rhythm, and then my lead as well, and there's polyrhythms over it, and it's one of those ones where it's like if you don't play it all together and you don't have the eye contact to be like, oh, hold on, keep going, or just stop here, it's kind of hard. So when we're in lockdown and we can't do that, and I had to try and track them one by one, I would just get so lost trying to do it.
So it's definitely one of those ones where when you go to record it, it'll be all hands on deck, not part by part.
Yeah, definitely. And there's tempo changes, like it speeds up for the solo and then slows down afterwards, and it's just a lot of
Classic Summerset
tapping and it's kind of just everything that we do as a band kind of put in one song, which is why we wanted it as the title track, because it's got a weird solo, it's got tempo change, breakdown kind of thing, it's got it just seems very us.
So you would say that pretty much from a recording point of view, the way you guys would go about things is pretty much all playing together, as opposed to some of the, like a lot of bands these days or artists would record all of the individual parts separately.
I feel like we kind of work better when we have the energy of playing live and not having to stop and be like, all right, let me redo that take or something. And it's also really satisfying to get like a really nice ambient sound with a live tracking, because it's usually like, with lo-fi or something like that, where it's a lot of ambience and it's a lot of like really listening to the background stuff, which is what we try and do. It's kind of cool for us to do that live and then not have to worry about when we actually play live all the stuff like, oh, we did this on the studio and now we don't have the effects for it. We don't have to worry about it.
Oh, cool.
And especially for interludes, so while we're
Yeah.
recording them, it's a lot easier to just go straight into the next song instead of having to stop it.
Okay, so anyone who's interested in checking out the band, where can they find your stuff?
Instagram.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
so
At
Instagram,
Summerset Band.
Instagram at Summerset Band.
Facebook. Summerset Band.
No, our Facebook is We Make Songs for Sad People,
Yeah.
which is also our Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you repeat that?
Yeah,
for
so
people?
our Instagram and Facebook is Summerset Band, and if you kind of look up Summerset Band, you'll find it.
Yeah, any platform.
There's a lot of other
YouTube.
bands that are close to the name we have, but it's
Look for the sundial. Look for the sundial.
and
the sundial's the logo.
yeah, colourful sundial or just pictures of me leaning back while playing a solo. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
All
you
right,
do
cool.
that thing with your heel where you like.
Yeah, I put my toe up and I lean over it.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys. And
Oh wait, one more thing to probably say. Don't know if it'll be out by the time this is, but we have a music video coming out for Sid.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, true.
Yeah, we did that a couple of weeks ago. Finished it very early. It was a lot of fun. We had to stop a lot of stuff because there was heaps of hailing.
Oh yeah, the
we were
weather
gonna have a scene where I was gonna go in a bathtub, but we couldn't do it because of the storm cell.
oh wow.
And it just kept coming and going.
Yeah.
And
So video should be out soon.
the video should be out soon.
Not sure when though.
The director said he's booked the week out to do it, so
Yeah, so
he
it should be
said he
done.
should have a draft by tomorrow.
All right, so we
Excited.
should be looking. We should be looking. What's today? Today's the 24th.
We're talking about around Christmas time, maybe.
Around Christmas.
No,
way
way
earlier
earlier
than
than that. Yeah. It'll be out by like next week probably.
Really?
Not next week, like
Yeah,
next,
I thought we were
next
maybe-
month.
So let's call it
3
mid
weeks.
December.
Mid-December.
December.
Let's call it mid December.
We're not very good at timing. We're children.
we do we kind of make the timing like right before we do something.
It's math rock. We don't even know what timing it is.
Thank you very much, guys, and all the best.
Thanks to the recording room.
Yes.
Yes. Recommended.
No worries. All right.